Hello, welcome to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Lokko.
And mine is Umaru, Sanda, Umaru. Coming up.
We'll start with the president, who is scheduled to address the nation in a few seconds. So we'll cross over to his seat of government on the latest on the coronavirus pandemic.
And 97 persons had unfortunately died. As of Friday, 16th October, the number of active cases has declined further to 398, with 46,664 persons fully recovered from the virus, putting our recovery rate at 98.5%. 13 more deaths have occurred, bringing the total number of deaths tragically to 310, out of a total number of 510,074 persons tested. The rate of death, 0.5%, continues to remain very low. When you take a close look at the measures some other countries are having to take, including imposing nighttime curfews and partial lockdowns, declaring state of emergencies, limiting the numbers of people permitted at public gatherings, and mandatorily fining persons for not wearing masks, all in the bid to contain the second wave of the virus, we in Ghana have been spared all these developments and restrictions. We must, thus, be doing something right. In fact, our favorable situation at the moment is thanks to the effectiveness of government policies, the cooperation of you, the Ghanaian people, and ultimately, to the grace of God. The science and data tells us that the trajectory of the virus in Ghana mirrors that of an epidemic with reduced disease activity. Our daily infection rates are no longer in the hundreds as they were some time back. Presently, they are in the tens, averaging 25 new cases per day in the course of last week. This is in sharp contrast with what is happening in the countries that are experiencing a second wave of infections, where in some instances, new infections and hospitalizations are sadly in the thousands per day. In spite of our successes, I'd like to reiterate that this virus remains something of a mystery, and we should always rather err on the side of caution and continue to observe the protocols that have brought us to where we are. As President of the Republic, I assured you of my continuing commitment to limiting and stopping the importation of the virus, containing its spread, providing adequate care for the sick, slowing down community spread, reducing the impact of the virus on social and economic life, and using the opportunity afforded by this pandemic to expand our domestic production capacity and deepen our self-reliance. I remain committed to these objectives, and I will not stray from them. Fellow Ghanaians, we all know that the emergence of the virus where in some instances, new infections and hospitalizations are sadly in the thousands per day. In spite of our successes, I'd like to reiterate that this virus remains something of a mystery, and we should always rather err on the side of caution and continue to observe the protocols that have brought us to where we are. As President of the Republic, I assured you of my continuing commitment to limiting and stopping the importation of the virus, containing its spread, providing adequate care for the sick, slowing down community spread, reducing the impact of the virus on social and economic life, and using the opportunity afforded by this pandemic to expand our domestic production capacity and deepen our self-reliance. I remain committed to these objectives, and I will not stray from them. Fellow Ghanaians, we all know that the emergence of the virus on our shores came from abroad, necessitating the closure of our borders by land, air, and sea in March 2020. Following the provision of testing facilities, which ensure the speed and accuracy of COVID-19 testing, Kotoka International Airport was reopened on 1st September 2020. It has been 6 weeks since the reopening, and a total of 30,564 passengers have been tested, from which 92 have tested positive. All 92 are asymptomatic cases whose status, but for the test, would not have been detected and would have spread the disease amongst the rest of the population. I'm aware that some are calling for government to extend the PCR negative test period before boarding the flight from 3 days to at least 5 days. I believe, in the context of the second wave of infections that is engulfing so many countries of Europe and America, that we have to insist on the 3-day period. It is better to be safe than sorry. Indeed, across the country, government has seen to the expansion of COVID-19 testing facilities from the initial 2 to 16, which include those of private sector providers. Additionally, some hospitals across the country have been equipped with the capacity to test for COVID-19. We now have more dedicated treatment facilities for dealing with the disease, and have also improved considerably the availability of PPEs for our health workers. It is reassuring that we no longer have news of shortages or lack of PPEs. Through a public-private partnership, our nation is the beneficiary of a 100-bed infectious diseases center located at the Ga East Municipal Hospital, with plans in the offing to replicate it in Kumasi, Takoradi, and Tamale. Inasmuch as we currently have no patients at the isolation centers, I express the gratitude of the nation once again to private and religious bodies who provided their facilities to support the fight. These laudable efforts have manifested the collective will of the majority of Ghanaians to rally together, irrespective of ethnic, religious, or partisan political considerations, to help win this fight. It is important for me to stress that the cost of providing for the care of most persons stricken with the virus is being borne by government, ensuring that persons who tested positive and were in need of health care received it promptly. The strategic, controlled, progressive, safe easing of restrictions continues, with its overarching objective being to restore our lives and economy back to normal. SHS2 and JHS2 students are back in school, as are some students in tertiary institutions and colleges. Indeed, the academic year for new and continuing university students will commence from January 2021. Football, the passion of the nation, will return in 2 weeks. Private burials, still with a maximum of 100 persons, are being performed, and the limit on the numbers of persons who can attend conferences, workshops, and award events has been lifted, subject to the strict adherence of COVID-19 protocols. On the economic front, according to the Bank of Ghana, the Ghanaian economy is recovering faster than initially anticipated. Consumer confidence is bouncing back strongly and is today above pre-lockdown levels. Business confidence has also increased, reflecting the improving macroeconomic conditions, stability of the exchange rate, lower import prices, moderation in lending rates, and positive industry prospects. Consumer spending, industrial consumption of electricity, and construction activities have all reached pre-lockdown levels, whilst tourist arrivals and port harbor activity are gradually edging upwards. So I urge all of you, my fellow Ghanaians, to continue to comply with the strict hygiene, mask wearing, and social distancing protocols that have become part of our daily routines. This is the surest way by which we can defeat the virus and avoid a second wave of infections. The outlook on our battle against COVID-19 remains optimistic, for which we thank God and you, the Ghanaian people. It is important that we maintain this positive position, especially with a few weeks to the holding of the December 7 presidential and parliamentary elections.
So that's President Akufo-Addo addressing the nation on the latest with regards to the coronavirus pandemic.
Let's move on to some other stories, Vivian. And the former member of parliament who represented the Jirapa constituency in the Upper West region as an independent candidate is seeking to return to snatch the seat from the National Democratic Congress, but this time round on the ticket of the governing New Patriotic Party.
Now, Paul Derek Goba, who defected from the NDC and won the Jirapa seat as an independent candidate, says his track record far outweighs that of the NDC's Cletus Dapila, who served as DT under the Mahama administration. Our correspondent Latif Mahama has more.
The Jirapa constituency is predominantly into agriculture, with more than 85% of the constituents engaged in peasant farming. Some communities in the area include Hang, Ulu, Vimvin, Sangwe, and many others. The constituency has since 1992 tilted towards the National Democratic Congress politically. In terms of parliamentary, however, the NDC's Francis Jeffiru Kobia represented the Jirapa constituency between 1992 and the year 2000. He was replaced by Edward Salia, also of the NDC, who also served 2 consecutive terms and was re-elected on his sickbed in the 2008 parliamentary election to continue a 3rd term. Honorable Edward Salia, however, died on 7th April 2009 after a long battle with illness, necessitating a by-election. Dr. Francis Bawana Dakra of the NDC won the seat with a majority of 9,337, representing 59.0, to beat the then MPP candidate and immediate past district chief executive, Justin Bayele Dakra. Francis Bawana Dakra only served up to 2012 and lost to Paul Derek Goba. Paul Derek Goba contested but lost the NDC's parliamentary primaries on 2 occasions in the Jirapa constituency. After that, he contested as an independent candidate and managed to snatch the Jirapa seat from the NDC in 2012. Dr. Francis Bawana, however, launched a comeback, defeating Mr. Goba in 2016. Dr. Bawana lost the NDC's last parliamentary primaries to a former district chief executive for Jirapa, Cletus Seydou Dapla, who is battling it out with Paul Derek Goba who has now switched camps to the MPP.
If it was any new person, I would have been worried. But this is a man, you know, when you look at it, I don't even believe that the man is an MPP. Because this is a man who was NDC, later did independent, later claimed he is now MPP. So the MPP themselves, I'm not sure they have that trust for that man. You know, he's just something, he's looking at his personal development. Otherwise, you can't be gallivanting from party to party. Just for what purpose? You understand? I'm not perturbed at all. We defeated him flatly in 2016. So I can assure you that the man is already defeated. So I'm never perturbed about the fact that I'm contesting with that same man. As a young person growing up, you know, having known, you know, the constituency very well, I have all the developmental challenges in my fingertips. Now that I know the challenges, what I need to really, you know, solve those problems is for the people to let me represent them in Parliament. And I believe that come December 7th, the good people of Jirapa will vote for Cletus Seidu Dapla and vote for my presidential candidate, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for us to team up to solve the many teeming problems that I have just mentioned. I bring leadership of humility. You know, I'm down to earth, I respect, and I believe my people know that, and they are going to vote for me.
A campaign team member for Cletus Dapla says the former DCE has a track record that will make it easy for him to win the Jirapa seat.
I live in Jirapa here, and I knew how he worked very hard. He's a very competent person. He's a youth, very energetic, and he's a grassroots person. He likes development. He likes to serve his people. He's very competent. So, Honorable Cletus is one of the persons I think that if you bring him back, he was this year, only 22 months, less than at least the period the FDC is supposed to serve. But everybody was so happy. The people wanted him to even stay. That's why the ADC lost power. When he left office, everybody was crying. So I think the Honorable Cletus Dapla, he is the best person that we can vote for and get a needed development.
According to him, most people in the constituency are yearning for the NDC.
In his tenure of office, we saw the way the development of Jirapa was speeding. When he left office, everything has come to a standstill. You can look at the town. The town rose that people are claiming that they are doing it. It was awarded on the leadership of Honorable Cletus Dapla. He handed over this work to the contractor. This year, 2020, they claim they are doing town roads. Mr. Latif, you are in Jirapa. I won't tell you the story. You can go into the town and see what is happening. Everything has come to a standstill.
Paul Derek Goba, however, says his decision to join the MPP is as a result of the good policies of the Nanado-led government.
Free education. Alim Kati, he beat a year so check. Karimina Walia, presidents, check a free education by Yayo, Gil Banglair. But not back at the girls' school. Kaha, Kin Banda getting your fees. To Bowlan and Bunga School. Now, in God School, 1961, primary one. From 1961 to 1979, Naba University of Ikobo. Our ye, Kanyana Tarai, I got to your school fees. Kayeturu. Badana Mata, Iuna, Karimba, Bondirkova. Hosana Tarai, Umara Jalako, Tatimbal number Tarai, Iuna, Kababala, Asawale, Katiko.
He explains that he is not seeking re-election to enrich himself, but to bring the needed development to the Jirapa constituency.
Parliament, I MP before. Another independence, I saw being out in a P.
The son of Simon Diedon Dombo, one of the founding fathers of the NPP, says the NDC must be voted out in the Jirapa constituency because they have not appreciated the loyalty of the people in the area.
If people say we are affiliated to NDC, there is no historical backing as regards that this party has done anything for this region other than the fact that NDC Rawlings created the region, Upper West. NDC Rawlings created Jirapa constituency in terms of separating it. And chose strategically a very popular son at the time, Salia. That's it. If you look at the candidate we now have, this is a man who, in 2012, was then identified with the NDC. He contested the parliamentary primaries against the certain NDC MP, Dr. Francis Dakura. Now, Paul Dergoba, who is the man in question, contested the certain MP and lost.
He says Paul Dergoba's decision to switch camp to the NPP is a step in the right direction, and that it may give the party its first victory in the constituency since 1992.
We recognize quality, we recognize talent, we recognize value, and we recognize that in the current, parliamentary candidate, Paul Dergoba. So we believe in this person who has been there before. He's been a parliamentarian before. You know, through turbulent waters, he won against all odds. I believe that we are in a much, much stronger position than ever before to regain the seats for Dombo. That's the missing link in the UP tradition.
But what are the key development issues confronting the Jirapa constituency?
We don't have good roads. Even the communities around, we don't have better roads linking communities to one another. So it's not easy traveling from one community to the other. So I think that is something that is retrogressing our development.
In fact, there are no schools. We are in need of water. We are in need of electricity. In fact, when you look at the villages where the agricultural system, where people farm and take their harvest, how to even transport it to the town and sell and make money because of the road networks, the bad road system.
Some constituents shared their views about who will best represent their interests in Parliament.
The NPP government is so committed to development. I've seen that the roads we are talking of, we've started seeing some constructions ongoing. So to me, I think that if we give them the chance again, all those problems will be resolved.
If you go into the community and say, Honorable Cleary was DC for only some few months. His opponent was MP for 4 years. Let them mind the records, and you see that Honorable Cleary record speaks for him. And he's the best person to lead Jirapa constituency for now.
From Jirapa here in the Upper West region, my name is Latif Mahama, Citi News.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian. Lokko, I'm here with
Umaru, Sanda, Umaru.
When we come back. Supporters of the MPP and NDC in the Upper Dentra East constituency threatened to take the law into their own hands over the defacing of posters.
We have that and more, don't go away.
Rigworld Solutions, forging the frameworks of Ghanaian industry. Engineering solutions from the heart of Takrady, Kejebil. At Rigworld Solutions, we manufacture industrial bolts and nuts, fasteners, hoses and fittings for the extractive and petrochemical industries. World-class products with local expertise. Locate our factory in Kejebil of the Takrady Takwa Road. Call 0302 949917 or 0540 107504. Email enquiries at rigworldsolutions.com. Rigworld Solutions, crafted in Ghana, engineered for the world.
What's poppin'? Brand new dramas. That's what. Ethan Hawke leads a group of freedom fighters in the daring battle to end slavery in Mnet's brand new historical miniseries.
We're gonna start a revolution.
And the rebellious daughter must step up and take the reins of her late father's criminal enterprise in Africa Magic's brand new local series.
What do I do?
What else is popping? Brand new pop-up channels, that's what's popping. We're serving up family dramas and intrigue galore in the beloved man on the new telenovelas channel.
Citizens, we cannot allow this situation to go on.
We're packing a punch with the kung fu adventures of the Chinese Odyssey on the brand new Kicks channel. And we're going crazy over arts and crafts with Cooksy on the new Zumu channel. So pop on over to DSTV for the best of brand new this month.
Welcome back. Tension is mounting in the Upper Dentra East constituency of the Central Region as supporters of the New Patriotic Party, that's the NPP, are accusing supporters of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, of vandalizing the campaign posters of the NPP's candidate Festus Ewa ahead of John Mahama's visit to the area. Festus Ewa, who spoke to the supporters of the party, asked them to ignore the antics of the suspects he believed to be NDC faithful.
Supporters of the New Patriotic Party in the Upper Dentra East constituency have threatened to deface posters and billboards belonging to the National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidate for the area, Emilia Ankoma. The MPP is accusing supporters of the NDC of defacing the campaign posters and billboards belonging to the MPP candidate, Festus Ewa, in the wake of John Mahama's visit to the area on Sunday. The unknown persons defaced the posters and banners of the MPP candidate with dirty oil in the early hours of Sunday, October 18, and did not also spare the ones at the party office. The situation sparked tension with some NPP supporters threatening to disrupt the visit of the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, in the constituency as part of his tour of the Central Region. Addressing disgruntled supporters of the MPP, the parliamentary candidate for the Upper Dentra East, Festus Ewa, indicated that he is not perturbed by the actions of the individuals who defaced his posters, but will continue to fight for victory in the December polls.
A very good day for MPP. We never say. And a good day for Dubai. And you can matter this. Some for about and then all retirement. And then a year journey for and now say that yes, yes, don't go say sorry, I hire MPP seat and I'm I feel about it, but sorry.
The NDC in the constituency has, however, denied any involvement in the action. In a Citi News interview, the NDC communications officer for the Upper Dentra East constituency, Papa Eko Nyako, urged the MPP to look elsewhere for the perpetrators of the crime.
I think that the person who might have done that, or the group that might have done that, might not be sensible, because I mean, to be able to go and do this at the party office of the MPP or even in town, to go and deface somebody's poster, it's not a sensible thing to do. And NDC, as a party, we are sensible people. We won't do this. I don't know why the MPP would accuse us for things that we think that for such a thing. And so for me, it is a complete falsehood that we don't know anything about this. The president, former President Umaru, is supposed to be in town. He's in town, and we do not have if like intention whatsoever to go and defeat any party's process.
We still stay with politics because over 200 supporters of the National Democratic Congress in the Longo electoral area of the Bongo constituency in the Upper East region have defected to the governing NPP. Now, according to the defectors, the decision to cross carpet to the NPP is born out of the underdevelopment of the electoral area despite several years of voting for the National Democratic Congress.
The Longo electoral area, where the incumbent member of parliament for the Bongo constituency, Edward Bauer, hails from, has been a stronghold of the National Democratic Congress since 1992. Residents of this electoral area overwhelmingly vote for the NDC presidential and parliamentary candidates in any election. But ahead of the December 7 polls, where the incumbent NDC MP Edward Bauer is facing stiff competition from the NPP parliamentary candidate Peter Ayinbisa, over 200 disgruntled supporters of the NDC have decided to vote against the party for doing nothing to ameliorate their plight upon several appeals. Speaking to Citi News at Longo after their induction into the NPP, spokesperson for the defectors, Matthias Agambiri, said it was time to support the New Patriotic Party for the enormous development projects in the electoral area to retain power for more development.
I've been a party member since 2000. I've been supporting NDC all my life because my dad was an NDC man. And we've done a lot for the party, but unfortunately the party actually failed us. So that made us, MPP came, we saw what Akufo did for us. Akufo came and gave us a number of school classroom blocks. He gave us, he constructed a bridge that actually saved us from actually being cut off anytime it rains. Now, that has happened. We don't have any problem again. There's a big river across Balloon, which we used to struggle to cross. MPP came and constructed it, and Akufo's regime. It collapsed. NDC refused to do it. MPP came, and Ananado, they came and constructed that bridge again. Now we can fly that road throughout the year without any hindrance. Now we have a problem here. Now our school was congested since 2009. We appealed to the district assembly several times. They failed to provide us a classroom block for the children to be separated. We appealed immediately. Nana came and appointed Ayinbisa. We appealed to him. Currently, that block is undergoing construction. That is the main reason why we felt that no, it is time for us to actually support a party that is development oriented.
The NPP parliamentary candidate for the Bongo constituency, who doubles as the district chief executive for Bongo, Peter Ayinbisa, commended the NDC defectors for making the right choice to support the NPP's victory come December 7 and pledged to further develop the area when elected as the next MP for Bongo.
We are not going to relax because you have come to join us. We are going to work even harder to ensure that we unseat the incompetent one that comes from here that represents all of us. It is time to have a change of the direction of our vote. The entire all of you, let us vote for Ronaldo, let us vote for Ayinbisa, let us vote for jobs, let us vote for roads, let us vote for the water we are enjoying. But to assure you that the electricity problem that you are putting for us, we are going to work tirelessly to ensure that we connect every nook and cranny of this community with electricity.
We move away from politics, and as the emergence of COVID-19 has forced many educational institutions across the world to adapt to online learning practices, authorities at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology want policymakers and stakeholders in the education sector to adopt ways of making online learning an integral part of Ghana's education system.
The call comes after the institution partnered with the Texas Education Consortium in the United States to enhance digital learning. Citi News' Edward Opon Mafo has more.
Many educational institutions had to resort to some form of online learning as COVID-19 hit the world hard. Institutions in Ghana, particularly the tertiary ones, adopted new ways of introducing online learning. However, not all were able to effectively adapt to the new normal. Authorities at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have thus called on stakeholders in the education space to come up with a plan to make online learning a key part of the country's education system. Their call follows their partnership with the Texas Education Consortium, which aims at enhancing digital learning. Professor Nathaniel Bosso, the Dean for School of Business at KNUST, is the team lead for the e-learning partnership project.
What we are going to be doing is to engage people, the entire society, including policymakers, to come to an understanding that online learning, e-learning, digital learning, whatever you want to call it, can be as good as face-to-face. In fact, there are some evidence to suggest that when you have teaching and learning in a blended form, that is a hybrid of face-to-face and online learning, it's much more effective than having the face-to-face learning. So our point is that we have a task to engage policymakers, parents, to engage even students to accept the notion that they can learn effectively on a digital platform.
On her part, the Vice-Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Rita Akosua-Dixon, reiterated the need for various institutions to adopt online studies as a key component in this COVID-19 era.
With the advent of COVID-19, no doubt, and we all agree that things in terms of delivery of our teaching has changed, our lives have changed. And these days we say we don't even have any new normal. We just have a normal because we can't go back anymore.
KNUST has also partnered with Iowa State University on a different project which seeks to apply engineering concepts learned in the classroom at rural areas of Upper West of Ghana. The funding partner for the two projects, the U.S. Embassy, believes such arrangements will significantly strengthen the standards of education in Ghana and the United States of America.
We're really proud as the U.S. Embassy to be the funding partner for these two projects. As I mentioned, these are the inaugural projects for Ghana. We hope that this will lead to further university projects. We know that there are many that already exist in Ghana. We want to encourage this kind of collaboration to flourish so that we strengthen both the universities in Ghana, but also the universities in the U.S. through the knowledge gained through these partnerships.
Now, the Deputy Energy Minister and MP for Ifia, Joseph Kujo, in collaboration with the Takoradi Technical University, has installed a 25-kilowatt solar power system to power the university's library.
The $100,000 solar project, which was fully funded by Green Ends Company Limited, a South Korean company, is expected to save the university some 24,000 cedis in electricity bills annually.
Now, the Vice-Chancellor of TTU, Reverend Professor John Frank Ashen, speaking at the commissioning of the project, told Citi News that the solar power system was in line with the university's effort to diversify its energy sources in a bid to reduce the huge cost of electricity bills.
Takoradi Technical University, with a population of over 13,000 students, until this 25-kilowatt solar power system at the university's library block fully depended on electricity from the national grid. Aside the high cost, sometimes irregular supply of power disrupt academic work. A Deputy Energy Minister, Joseph Kujo, who also doubles as the MP for Ifia, where the Takoradi Technical University is located, teamed up with Green Ends Company Limited, a South Korean firm, to provide TTU with a 25-kilowatt solar power system for free.
I have personal experience here when, as a lecturer, preparing notes, one evening, no light, and I was in the library, light off. I had that personal experience. And that was also a time when examinations were being conducted. And the students, you could see the desperation. That evening's experience has lived with me for a very long time. That's why I started with the library. That when great power, main electricity is not there, this will always be there to give light any day. But most importantly, looking at also the trend of diversifying electricity sources, even by my own government of the NPP, trying to bring in solar here and there to diversify the energy mix. It comes in tandem with it. The future plan is to put the Umaru block out there. You see a huge block, a lot of classrooms. And I think when I support and we put that facility on solar, it would mean that there will be enough rooms, classrooms, for students to access and study when there is any failure in grid power.
The Vice Chancellor of Takran Technical University, Reverend Professor John Frankie Shen, tells Citi News the university spends no less than 5 million Ghana cedis on electricity annually, and that the solar power will reduce the cost.
There was a need for us to look for energy mix so that to save us. So we started approaching some people who will be of interest in this development. And then we chanced to meet Honorable. And then he said he was going to help. So we worked on it, and I believe today we are seeing what is happening. I know our annual electricity consumption is almost about 5 million. And then when we get this solar, we'll be able to save some money to do other work.
The registrar of TTU, Moses McLean Abnori, while commending the vice president of Green Ends Company Limited, Linus Yu, said the university has appointed him as a development ambassador. The 25 kilowatt solar power system with 74 panels and 2 units of 500 amp per hour battery bank, as well as 2 inverter units, will be maintained by the maintenance unit of the university's Directorate of Works and Physical Development.
You're still watching Citi Newsroom on Citi TV. Still ahead on the bulletin, most females in Ghana are gradually diffusing the long-term notion that seeks to discourage them from venturing into certain professions seem to be solely reserved for men. Today we are focusing on a woman barber.
We'll be back with that interesting story. Stay with us.
It is Christmas. What do you want for Christmas? A new car, a vacation, or expand your business? Make your wish and have it come true in the 100 days of Christmas with a Republic Bank Christmas loan. The Republic Christmas loan is quick, easy, and so affordable with super fast turnaround time. Come into any of our branches nationwide. Call or WhatsApp 055-654-3212 or apply online via republicghana.com. Remember, wear your nose mask, stay safe. Republic Bank, we are the one for you.
You've come a long way from where you started, and in that time, you've upgraded a lot. But have you upgraded your entertainment? When you upgrade to GoTV Max, everyone gets an upgrade. Football fans can up their game with La Liga and get all new action with the NBA and NFL on a brand new channel, ESPN. The kids will go crazy for the most popular kids shows, and family night is sorted with blockbuster movies on TNT. Plus, our local celebrities will keep you connected to your continent, while our general entertainment channels will take you international. There's a whole lot for the whole family when you upgrade to GoTV Max. So make the move today and give your family an upgrade they'll love. GoTV, live it, love it.
Yeah, welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Now, most females in Ghana are gradually diffusing the long-term notion that seeks to discourage them from venturing into certain professions seen to be solely reserved for men. Now, for many, this cultural norm has forced them to abandon professions they desired for the future.
Well, a young female barber who has been able to surmount this hurdle shares how she's working towards empowering young girls to bridge the gender gap in Ghana. Citi Newsroom's Ashanti Regional Correspondent Hafiz Tijani has this report.
The Kwadaso suburb of the Ashanti region is a barbering shop. The owner of this shop is 26-year-old Priscilla Arta, who is popularly known in this area as Ajua P. Priscilla, like many females, has defied all odds to stay in a profession she has always desired to be associated with in the future growing up. Ajua P, like many other females in Ghana, has faced discouraging remarks from friends, relatives, and neighbors after showing interest in a profession perceived to be solely meant for men.
I started it when I was 7 years age. And actually, it wasn't my plan to become a barber. I went to school, but not knowing I have this kind of talent. So let's say it's a God gift. Even your friends, and even for instance my dad and my mom, it's not easy to raise a daughter like me, to take me to school to become a different person in life. And after education you tell your parents that you want to become a barber. It's not easy.
Although setting up her own barbering shop was not an easy task, she is priding herself of becoming what many thought she couldn't be.
First, my parents was not supported because they thought it was men's work and have no certificate to take me anywhere. Because people always say a lady becoming a barber here in Ghana, and first of all, it's no good at all. And even your friends are going to say a lot of things that's going to bring you down. So first, I used to encourage myself that far as it's not a work that is going to bring me down or it's going to cost me any problem, at least let me try my best and see what I can do. So I work with someone. Big towns goes to that person, Umaru. It's my first boss in Kumasi. We stay here in Kwadaso. We have a shop over that place before I left. So always he's the one who advising me to save money, and then he know that one day I'll become whatever that my heart desires to.
As a female, Ajua will definitely settle down, but what happens to her barbering shop and her dreams to take this profession higher?
If you're a female and you do such a work like this, that's the only question that they always ask you. Are they your husband going to allow you to become a barber when you got married or when you got pregnant? But you know that we have doctors, we have lawyers that they are females too. So what about them? Is it not the same work? Is it not the same time that they are making? So I hope if only the person loves me and he cares for me as he said that. You have to allow me to do it because it's a handwork for me and it's a work that it will support the family too.
After setting up her own business and working for over 5 years, Ajua now has 3 boys who work under her.
Like, there were some of the things I didn't know. Like, in fact, I've learned more from Ajua P. There were some of the things I didn't know how to do it, but since I came here, everything has been fine.
Customers who come here to have their hair cut speak highly of her work.
I choose Ajua P because I see something different in her. So always I come here to shave my hair, to cut my hair. And anytime she cut my hair, people will be saying, wow, that the person draw you or he use machine to cut your hair. So Ajua P simply, she's the best.
First time I saw her, I was like, a female doing barbering. Wow. Then I need to try. So I just went to that first day. I just went to her and I was like, wow, if a female can shave like this, then she had a long way to go. So when she moved to Kwadaso, I was staying at Kwadaso. So I used to move from Kwadaso all the way Tukwa-Addo here to come and shave.
With different hairstyles and shapes, Adwoa P has been able to prove her prowess. She is, however, aiming at setting up an institution that will train Ghanaian youth, especially females, seeking to become barbers.
I want to say thank you to everyone who supported me. First, my dad. Second, my godmom, Auntie Lokko. You see, always I told them that if only God help me and give me the chance and let's say everything that I have or everything that my heart desire in life, this is the first thing that I'm going to make here in Ghana, barbering school.
Adwoa has this advice for young Ghanaian females.
What I would say is that every female like me or a youth like me having this kind of handwork should make it. She have to try and let it come true because it's a good work and it's a work that you can take it anywhere.
The story about Adwoa P is comparable to great women across the world who have made it, defying all odds in life. She wants government to support females like her to train other females to reduce unemployment in the country. From the Adwoa P Barbering Saloon in the Ashanti region, Hafiz Tijani for Citi News.
Then I'm bringing you scissors tomorrow. You should do my hair, even if you do.
Oh, I buy Adwoa P.
No, I buy actually, but she do
I'm not Adwoa P.
But she do the thing neat, oh.
Yeah,
like,
she's good.
No, like if she were in a crowd and if I go to Kumasi, I'm definitely going to find her.
Try her.
Yeah, I think. But she'll do punky dough for me, you know. If I do punky dough.
So try it when you go to Kumasi.
I will.
Well, that's it for the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Lokko. Log on to our website. We have more stories there.
Subscribe to Citi Tube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV.
Download the Citi Newsroom app from the Google Play Store and keep updated on the go.
You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182.
My name is Vivian Lokko.
And mine is Umaru Sanda. Thank you for watching.